All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got kind of an exotic episode for you today.
But first off, I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Hunnemeder, and back again.
I'm Nick Campbell.
We liked him so much the first time that we brought him back for the second episode.
Back.
A little sloppy seconds.
So we thought we'd all wear the same clothes just to kind of recreate the magic.
Yeah, magic of last week. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming
I
on.
had a great time last one.
Likewise.
Great.
The feeling is mutual.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try some non-normal beers here.
Yeah, a little experimental stuff going on.
So we're gonna go to Laughing Buddha, which has been renamed Trade Route Brewing.
Oh, okay.
There was already a Laughing Buddha, I think, brewery, so they had to change their name, or somebody was doing beer that they had to change their name.
All right.
But this is their ginger pale ale, and then freshly bottled.
Yeah, just saw this one on the shelf today, so I mean, how could I pass it up? This is the Dogfish Head Sah'tea, which we have seen on the menu at the brew pub before, but never seen it in bottles. So I think they just started bottling it. So
Nice.
I think it's about as fresh as it can get. So
Right, it says bottle 09 on there. So
Hey, that's this year.
that's right now.
yes, that is right now. So yeah, it should be a fun time.
And how could you pass up anything Dogfish Head?
I really like Dogfish Head, and if I ever see anything that I haven't had from them, I always pick it up. So this is
That's like me seeing the hair of the dog and
Exactly.
walking away. So but we're gonna start with the Laughing Buddha because I think we want to finish with that and just savor that a little longer,
Yeah.
right?
sure.
Good idea.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
So open this up.
Crack it up.
Let's do it. Oh, fun.
Sorry, dude.
I'll do this one then.
Yeah.
So mine's cleaning the glass a lot. I don't know what I had in my glass before.
Hey, did you have
Did
the
you do the
first
rinse?
pour?
I had the first pour, yeah.
Okay. Mine, you have a lot of bubbles clinging to yours. I don't really have much at all.
Me either.
Someone might have
Well,
opened
clean-
it.
That's the second episode that Brad like
In a row.
spills on the table while he's checking out his beer.
I think someone okay chinned in my beer. But
So you're certainly getting the more of the sweet aspect of the ginger.
I definitely smell the ginger.
I'm just getting kind of sweet and not ginger.
I get it. It's not really like it doesn't really taste like fresh ginger or smell like fresh ginger.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay. Alright, that tastes like a ginger ale almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I like the flavor a lot more than I like the aroma. Because it does have a little bit of that spiciness, which probably plays well with the hop spiciness, the ginger spiciness, which
I think
is...
there's just enough. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of. Brad,
They have bigger glasses. So pour it up.
get you a curly straw or something.
Pour it up.
To be honest, I'm not a big fan of ginger in general.
Oh.
I like.
You're crazy!
I like the fake ginger. I like the Vernors. I like the crappy ginger ales, but like the real, like the sushi ginger or the actual ginger ales they make, I'm not a fan of. But this has like just enough ginger for me. It doesn't have a lot of it.
I'm feeling like it doesn't have enough.
That's perfect for me.
See, I'm maybe that is why you enjoy it maybe a little more.
Mhm.
I certainly don't think it's unenjoyable. I think that the ginger flavor is a little bit artificial.
Yeah.
It's like on that edge of like we could be this big ginger punch in the face, but we're not.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like a rounded sweetness.
It's like a drop
more of like
ginger.
almost like a candy ginger flavor.
Yep.
As opposed to like shaved off ginger root. I've had some, like notably some excellent ginger beers. One of them being from Left Hand, which is the Juju ginger, and also the Hitachino ginger brew is fantastic.
I don't know if I've had that one.
Yeah, I mean that's probably my favorite. And
Pretty gingery though, right?
Yeah, and it's like real authentic ginger, and it's great to sit down with a plate of sushi and have one of those. It's just fantastic.
Do you put the ginger in the beer?
No,
You
no,
need the
no,
ginger?
No, much like the other episode, no fruit and beer.
That's right.
No root and beer.
Okay, good. Interesting. Well, to me, it's just enough ginger. So if you kind of maybe a fan of
Beer on
ginger,
the fence.
this may be maybe an intro ginger beer
To the other two.
to the other two in the world.
Those are just the other two that I've had.
But it's definitely subtle.
But it's a weird ingredient to put in a beer.
Yeah, it's probably not for everyone. With ginger being like a weird ingredient to begin with, and not everyone enjoys ginger.
Obviously.
Yeah, and so like I think even people that enjoy beer and enjoy ginger sometimes don't like the marriage of both of them together.
It's like olives and pudding.
Sure.
I like olives. I like pudding. Probably wouldn't like olives and pudding.
But I do have to say, ginger and coffee, fabulous.
I've never had
If
that.
you're looking to like wean yourself off of sugar and coffee, throw some ginger in there, and the ginger sweetness.
Like the
will
crystallized
fight-
ginger?
No, get fresh ginger, cut it up,
Really?
throw it in there like little pebbles of ginger in your coffee.
Whoa.
Kills the bitterness, and you get like a little sweetness.
Interesting.
It's really good.
Wow.
Nice. Okay. Well, there you go.
Well, I gotta say, as you know, not a big fan of ginger. This was kind of freaking me out at first, but it held up. I think it's. I do agree of the like artificial part of it. It's not. That definitely doesn't taste like the real ginger. I know the real ginger.
I am wanting some sushi.
Yeah. I mean I can't think of a better meal than having a plate of sushi and a ginger beer to go along with it. It's like
So
symphony to me.
speaking of sushi and beer, I had an interesting experience last maybe a week ago. I had a plate of sashimi,
Oh, alright.
and on the side they always give you the wasabi and the ginger, right?
Sure.
And there's always like some mood lighting at the sushi restaurants, kind of dim.
You must go to the sexier.
I go to the sexier sushi restaurants, and it's a little. Maybe I was like, captured by my lady across the table. Wasn't really looking. And I saw the chunk of stuff to pick up, and I thought it was salmon, and I kind of ate it, a big bite of it, and it was ginger,
Oh,
raw, nasty ginger in my mouth, and wasn't
So
a
you're
pleasant.
not a fan?
Especially when you're expecting fish and you get ginger, totally screws with your mouth. By the way.
See, I'm working on the road a lot, so I always like whenever I see like a Whole Foods or a place that has like fresh, sushi,
Mitsuya.
you can get to Mitsuya out in Arlington. Shut up! I always stop and I can eat it on the road while I'm going. And a lot of times I usually just don't even have time, so like once I get to the end, I just take the whole pile of ginger and throw it in my mouth. I mean that's just how I do. So
To each his own. Cheers to that.
Mm.
Cheers to ginger in that.
Maeve has to order more ginger.
I asked for
Oh
more.
my god.
Oh, is that where the booze were coming from? The ginger booze.
So, you're not ginger love.
I'm in the wrong crowd. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Listen,
Literally just
the voice of non-ginger reason right here.
But if nothing else, we should just kind of encourage you to, if you ever see any ginger beers out there, if like your curiosity piques, certainly go try it because it can be very, very delicious.
Or just a different ingredient. But Black Buddha Trade Route, they do a mango Hefeweizen. So I think they're trying different ingredients
Different stuff.
in their beers, and they're just looking to branch out to non-normal beer lovers.
Yeah, it's always very interesting and cool when people try to do stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it's very
That's why we're doing the Dogfish Head.
Absolutely.
tasty.
Which will be up next, by the way.
So let's wrap these up.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and finish these and move on to the doggy.
Let's do it.
Alright, so we're back. Ginger beer's gone.
It is all gone. So we're gonna move on to.
Even I finished the ginger beer, which wasn't bad.
No, but you liked it more than we did.
I was like, this crap, this like mediocre ginger beer is perfect for me. Thanks, guys.
So we're gonna move on to a new bottling venture from Dogfish Head, which is their Sah'tea.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I am too. I saw it on the shelf just today, and I'm like, I couldn't pass it up. So,
If we weren't HopCast tonight, he'd probably drink it by himself.
that was the plan. I didn't even mean for it to be on the show. I just brought it over with you guys so we could drink it. But basically, just a little background on Sah'tea is the style of beer is an old Finnish style, and traditionally they don't use hops in it. So instead, they'll use juniper twigs for the counteracting bitterness from to counteract the malt sweetness. So this one is traditional in a sense where it does have juniper berries, but it's also brewed with black chai tea. So it should be somewhat interesting. It's also 9%. So it's traditional, but also has that Dogfish Head little spin
Content.
to it. So
The only other beer I know that I've had that doesn't use hops is the Greg from Hair of the Dog. And they use squash for the bittering. So that poured out pretty cloudy. Again, not like cloudy, just
yeah, it's a little cloudy. Yeah, it's like kind of like a middle of the road between an orange and a yellow type of cloudiness.
Like you want to be able to see through it, but you just can't.
I'm trying.
You can see the silhouette of your hand.
But really no head.
No, not too much. It's 9%, so you're not really going to get too much head retention. It's a pretty hefty beer.
Because of the higher alcohol?
Yeah. And
The cloves, a lot of cloves in the aroma, which what black or chai tea has.
yeah, this is brewed with the black chai tea, so I think that's coming out a lot in the aroma.
Yeah,
for
definitely
sure.
Has that kind of clovey kind of
And
dustiness.
on the bottle, it did say that they ended the chai tea at the end of the boil, which what it does by adding it at the end of the boil is going to basically maximize all the aromatic qualities. The longer you boil it, the more of the bitter qualities are going to come out.
Okay.
So you're getting all that aromatics. So it makes total sense.
Because they add it later.
Because they add it later and it's not boiling it as long.
Gotcha.
And we were drawing comparison earlier from this aroma to the same aroma that you would get from the Rabbit Saison from Three Floyds.
It's gotta warm me.
Really,
You gotta sense it.
anytime we mention something that's not here, that's
If it's not
we're
present.
drinking, that's a shout out.
If it's anywhere else, what if it's over there or over there?
Well,
It's outside of the
Sometimes we shout out to people that are
Okay,
here. As long as they're not in the frame of the camera, I think we shout out.
Alright.
But yeah, like very similar characteristics going on there. And the Rabbit is something that we enjoyed, all three of us,
Sounds
earlier
good.
this week. So really looking forward to this one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Can't wait.
Instantly, when I was putting it into my mouth, I'm like, this is gonna be thick. I felt like it was gonna be heavy in the mouth, and it kind of is.
It is. I feel like it is.
I was like, as it's coming up, it's like my mouth was like getting ready for something heavy.
My first reaction, I'll delve into it later, but this is fucking awesome. But like, it's a sweet beer,
Yeah.
and you get a lot of the chai tea flavor, but it kind of marries into the beer. It's not like two separate flavors.
I feel like with the ginger beer and some of the other beers I've had that had flavors, there's a beer taste, and then there's another taste that kind of goes on top of it,
Mhm.
like a lot with those specialty like fruity beers and stuff like that. But this, it's all kind of cohesive.
I think that's what makes a great brewery like Dogfish Head, Three Floyds, and Hair Dog. It's just coming together, so you don't taste that beer. You taste what the flavors that they wanted to put into the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not necessarily almost always pinpointing each ingredient. Everything is kind of working together.
Exactly.
And this one is just great. I think like you get the sweetness from the chai tea and the sweetness from the grain that works together. And there's almost like, I don't know if they brewed with honey or not, but there's like I certainly get a honey sweetness in there as well.
Yeah, a little kind of syrupy sweet.
And it has a really thick mouthfeel.
Right, it just has that weight of a chai tea.
Yeah. Is it like when you get a chai tea, it's usually kind of thick and like heavy on you.
It's got a hearty like nose. It's got a lot of like aroma quality to it. There's like, to me, there's like a lot of nose taste and a lot of mouth taste. This has kind of a lot of both for me.
It's kind of burning as it goes in.
Yeah. It's all of it.
We need like a tea expert. We need
Yeah.
Leah of Cha Cha Tea. Shout out!
I almost said that. I was like a little late on that one.
Come on, give us like the tea. Like,
All right, we'll give you one more shout out. One more shout out. Just plug it in.
I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure.
I'm gonna be right on top of that one.
But have we had any other beers that use tea? I feel like we had something else. But
I know
chamomile. There's a lot of
personally, yeah. I've personally brewed chamomile before in my Belgian triple. And
I was on the fence.
but yeah, like a lot of beers out there use chamomile tea. I think this is the first one I've ever had that uses.
Like what kind of beer?
Like a lot of Belgian beers use chamomile.
Do you have like a specific one?
Specific one I don't. I know that like it's not uncommon for like Belgian white beers. That's what you're. I see it, dude.
He was fishing.
I was fishing for one.
Fair enough.
Sorry, dude. I missed everything you said. I was just waiting.
Give me a name.
I believe Budweiser.
I'm on top of that. Dude, Budweiser shout out. Is that the first one?
But this is good.
This is really good.
The only really way to say it is it's good.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. You know, it's just like a real interesting beer that like is really well rounded and just totally solid. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like a lot of the flavors. Usually, the flavored kind of type of beers kind of set me off with sometimes. But this one's really integrated. It's not like just floating on top or anything. It's just part of the whole deal.
Is this like the Midas Touch, like an ancient recipe kind of brewing?
It's one of the older forms of or styles of beer, like the old Finnish style. But I don't know if there is some crazy technique necessarily, other than using the juniper instead of the hops. And I'm not even really sure if they totally went without the hops on this one.
Yeah, right there actually is kind of a weird technique. It's on the bottle actually, I think you had to do his homework. It's a 9th century Finnish technique. Sorry.
Come on.
It's a 9th century Finnish technique where they actually heat the wort instead of over like a kettle or a fire or something. They heat up stones and drop stones directly into the mash as it's boiling, and that's how they produce the wort. That's how they.
I've seen that. What video did I see?
I think there's some video on their website of it.
Okay.
So I read a while back there was a really great article in the New Yorker about Sam Calagione, the founder of Dogfish, and they talked extensively about that particular beer because he was brewing the beer the day that the author of the article came to visit him. So the author was talking about that, and he described the whole process of throwing these big stones in there, and shit boiling up all over the place, and steam everywhere, and like it just sounded very cool.
You just want more.
Yeah, it's a nice, like, rounded, sweet, like, earthy qualities to it. Totally drinkable, especially for 9%.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, wow.
This is like find you in the gutter tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me more.
so all you date rapists out there, pick up the Sah'tea.
You guys pretty big in the date rape
Pound date rape.
Someone's got to be watching.
Yeah. Odds are.
Oh, shit.
But, so thanks for watching HopCast, and hope you reach for something
Experimental.
different. Yeah.
Crazy. Hey.
Cheers.